and I'll never back down. In the middle of the ring is where I lay the smack down. Against all odds, I will always prevail. So when you step to me, it's like hell in a cell.
Yo, what's up guys? It's another We Talk with me, Delzinski, and also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, We Talk proudly brings to you the Professor. Yes, he reminds me of Mike Tenay, the one and only Weeds.
Thanks, mate. I don't quite know how to respond to that. You well?
Yeah, I am good. Thank you very much. How are you, Professor?
Oh, I've got my head in a book, apparently, over here with my glasses on.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. So, topics today are Batista. Basically, Batista. Yes, he's getting booed, but for the right reasons now. But Batista, and does it really work at WrestleMania that we have got two heels in the main event? Does that work? And also, it's basically the week of announcements, as we have Hulk Hogan have an announcement tonight on Monday Night Raw. And also, it's being reported that the dead man, the Phenom, the Undertaker, also has an announcement. Very interesting stuff.
Should be another good Raw, though, hopefully. They're getting, as we said, had things on the right track last couple of weeks, haven't they?
Yes, it has got better. It is building.
Not everyone's cup of tea, but we're liking it, aren't we?
Yeah. So what do you think? Batista as, I'm enjoying that he's a heel again. Anything beats face Batista, but he's back as back to his best at pissing everybody off, because he does a very good job at that.
He doesn't have to act, does he?
No, I noticed this week on I think it was SmackDown, he has the leather jacket back. So you know what happens when superstars mac out the leather. You saw it with The Rock, and now you've got it with Batista. So you know that's the heel look right there.
It was like we were saying, he didn't really go down well ever. From what I can remember as a face. I mean, a lot of people got behind him because he was really, really powerful, looked really impressive in the ring. But he was always better at being a heel. There's always been a lot of talk, isn't there, that, you know, wrestlers prefer being a heel. There's a lot more you can do with the character. And what they always got that saying, haven't they, that basically wrestlers are being versions of themselves, just with the volume, little Spinal Tap reference there, turned up to 11. And I think that's what we're getting with Batista, effectively, isn't it? This is what this guy really is, you know.
What
he doesn't get it. Well, that might be a bit strong. But, you know, he didn't like it, did he, when the crowd were booing him? I wouldn't say that he didn't get it, but he wanted... Off. And I just, what do you think of the angle he's coming with? And, you know, where have all the real men gone? Who is this little flying gnome that keeps coming in? I'm
not gonna be funny here, but Weeds, where have all the real men gone? He's the one wearing skinny jeans.
He may be changing that as part of the leather jacket look. Maybe throwing some, you know, no more leather. No,
no. He's still macked out the skinny jeans. I'm pretty damn sure of that. So yeah, where have all the real men gone? Where did you go, Batista?
He's still rocking that Botox.
He can't get rid of that. Come on, that's there. That's never going to be replaced. Anyway,
he's got a constant frown.
Someone, I think I said on Twitter, said he's got a head like a cauliflower.
Yeah. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
I didn't say that.
He said that tucked in from the bottom of his back.
I didn't say that. Look, anyway,
well, for very controversial fashion.
Yeah, I mean, look. Don't get me wrong. I'm mocking the Batista, but I am so happy that we have seen the old Batista return, because it's just, you know, he does suck as a face, in my opinion, and the fact that he's now able to pretty much, you know, effortlessly piss off the fans. Very funny. I mean, it's good. And it's natural. The only issue I have got is how does this work at WrestleMania, the main event? How does it work? Two heels. Has that been done before?
Not that I can remember. I'm sure there's guys out there who probably can remember. I think the closest thing I can remember is when Triple H had been obviously a heel for the whole of his career and came back, and I think it was Jericho. That's kind of last time. But I remember he was pretty much over after he got that. Do you remember that massive reaction he got when he came back? I think it was Madison Square Garden, and he pretty much cemented himself as a face then. But no, it's like you're saying. It would be interesting to see if they go in with two heels. Will it work? I don't know if it is. I think Randall's not going to know what he's got coming if Batista turns up and it's just those two.
Well, ultimately, at the moment, it's got to be Batista that is the master heel. If you want to
master
put it that
heel
way.
And his bitch.
I mean, that's the only way I can sort of phrase it, because Orton's a heel, but he's definitely not being booed as much as Batista because he's the boo man. But you know, I can't really work out at the moment for a WrestleMania main event if this is right.
Well, I was going to say Orton's not really. I think I've classed him as kind of like a cowardly heel before, but I don't think that's quite right. He's kind of like the smart cowardly heel, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's always got
as well.
He's always got something going on in the background. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I can't see the WWE sticking with that as their main event. I still think there's going to be something else thrown in there. But like you were saying with Batista, it is good to see that he's come back. I mean, we had a few concerns when he first came back that he wasn't going to really work a full schedule. He seems to have sorted that right out. He's wrestling on everything at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, that's best for business. When you get these guys back, don't give them those Lesnar contracts. I am so against the part-time ethic. It sucks.
It does, and I think that's probably something we're going to maybe cover later in this video with Taker. Not that we don't think he puts in the effort, but it would be nice to see him a little bit more. But yeah, that's it with Batista. I mean, you're getting him on house shows now. He's turning up on SmackDown. He's on everything at the moment, which I mean is good to see. Maybe, we don't know. Maybe because it was rumored he had like a 2-year deal, wasn't it, with WWE? Maybe it was like a number of dates that he's getting in all before WrestleMania this year. Then he's going away again. He's
just come from being the Guardian of the Galaxy. I mean, this is easy.
Is that where all the real men are?
Yeah, apparently so. The topic of Batista brings us on to something tonight. Well, my thinking is that it brings us on to something tonight because Hulk Hogan, brother, has decided that he has an announcement to say at Raw.
Maybe, just maybe, it's going to be that he's actually worked out the WWE network is now.
Possibly.
Just throwing it out there.
He's been on the Googler of the Googling, and you know how I like to Google, and he's found that the fact it's not the universe, it's the network, so maybe his Googling has done the trick. Or I was thinking possibly with Hogan, it could be the fact that he's decided to put himself in the main event, maybe.
Oh,
would you like that?
Yeah. I hope he's not wrestling. I hope that's not where you're going with this. He's not leaving with Bret Hart's belt again, is he?
Yeah, so maybe. Or maybe he's going to inject some more poison in and bring back Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, maybe.
I thought you meant Brooke for a minute. Scared the crap out of me. Thought he was bringing Brooke in.
He's going to inject into Brooke. Oh,
I didn't go there. You went there.
God's sake. Every week we have this week.
You're being sick again.
Me? Would I? No.
Inject the poison? Well, yeah.
A lethal dose.
Doesn't he do that via Vince McMahon?
Look, that's enough of that. Or it could be that he's going to put another character in that main event.
Triple H.
No. My guess that is going to be one of two things. One is very obvious. He's going to become the general manager of Raw. Or number two is that he's going to put a stipulation in for the Triple H Daniel Bryan match. I think Triple H is yet to accept the challenge for WrestleMania, but it could be a stipulation that puts whoever wins that match, or if Daniel Bryan wins that match, makes more sense, he will get to go in the main event, which is against the Batista and the Randall Keith Orton.
Well, I'm assuming we're probably going to get that match. What do you reckon? Accepted tonight on Raw?
Yeah. Unless you don't fancy it.
Well, you might have downgraded him from a B+ player now.
You are C+.
But yeah, I mean, it would be great to see some kind of stipulation thrown in there. I'm not 100%. You never quite know what they're going to do with Hogan. It could be just going to announce something completely pointless. But hopefully, it is some kind of stipulation. The only reason I don't think it might be something along those lines is because you've got Taker rocking up as well with some kind of announcement. It just seems they're rolling out all these legends and they've all got something to say in this 1 week. You never know. Bret Hart might turn up next and's got something to say as well.
He'll be well depressed.
But yeah, you kind of I don't know what you think, but I kind of think we're going to get maybe that some sort of announcement along those lines, maybe a particular match with Taker as well. So yeah, I hope it is something to do with the wrestling match that Hogan's got to say, or the event itself, rather than some entertainment thing like they're going to announce that a certain band's playing during, or someone's opening
Limp Bizkit,
or
Linkin Park.
Transformer Mark now. Yeah, I mean, I hope it is something. Hoping it is something, aimed at the event itself, rather than something that is just something that they've hired for WrestleMania. I don't
Kid
know.
Rock.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Well,
yeah,
I
completely
Taker's
agree.
theme music at some point, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I'd ask, which I know you've wanted to see for quite a while.
Do you know what? When he comes back at Judgment Day, that is so good. That is so good. That is one of the best ever. That was that. It was
the turn, isn't it? He makes halfway
through. Some of those choke slams, particularly the one I think it is to Shane McMahon. I think it is. Oh, it's brilliant. I missed that Undertaker. I missed the Undertaker that could do proper choke slams.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to see him again, unfortunately.
What I would say back on the Hogan announcement is it does make perfect sense that Hogan could add a stipulation, because it could be built into his contract that he has. If he does get made the general manager of Raw or something like that, then he can have, a little bit of stroke to go against the authority. And I think that works.
It's starting to sound like TNA.
Look, no, Jeff Jarrett's days are done in TNA, but it may not sound like it at the moment after some of the news that we've heard about lockdown. And just to let you all know, guys, a lockdown review is coming, and it will be on Thursday, and it will be We Talk, but I may have to be put in a straitjacket and have my mouth sellotaped, because some of the reviews at the moment are making me increasingly worried. I haven't watched the pay-per-view yet, but I will be watching it tomorrow.
We will be both watching it tomorrow, won't we?
Yes, and I have almost blown a gasket already after some of the news that has come out recently and some of the images that I have seen of the event. So
we need to keep you off the Twitter.
Yes, I need to keep very calm because as I have banged on to Weeds about this week, that sounds wrong, but I have
not always me.
I have openly said that lockdown was a big night for TNA, so they best not have dropped the ball. But you will find that out in our lockdown review on Thursday. So we're not sure about Hogan's announcement. It could be good. I think it will be good ultimately.
It's always good when Hogan turns up. So again, it's just another reason that I can't wait to tune in tonight.
Brother. And then as I said, it's like the night of announcements, and we've also got one from the Dead Man. I mean, I'm thinking, we said about stipulations. I'm thinking bra and panties match.
Well, unless they're both lending off Batista and his old stock, you must be onto something.
He's got a couple of thongs whipping around somewhere.
Well,
where have all the real men gone? Where have they gone?
They're in Gold's Gym somewhere.
Deal with it. Come on.
I'm assuming it's only a matter of time before this turns into a stipulation.
Yeah.
Isn't it, to be honest?
That's all Lesnar can do these days, Street fights.
So,
Strangles.
is it going to be another street fight?
I don't.
Going to get in a cage or anything like that?
It
won't be some kind of pen stabbing match.
It won't be a Hell in a Cell pen stabbing match. It's more likely to be some sort of brawl or something like that.
Well, they did the urn last year. Maybe a last man standing. I haven't seen a good one of those for ages. So
ladder match.
What? Just put Paul Heyman above the ring. Well, I was thinking they maybe should hang him in a cage above the ring because again, it's been a while since they did something like that. Do you remember the old concrete crypt match that Taker had with the Dudleys?
Are you talking about TNA? It sounds bizarre.
No, it was concrete crypt. I can't remember where. It was probably like a Survivor Series or something. It was a handicap match.
A what?
A concrete crypt match.
Oh, yeah, I do remember. It's the one with Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rubbish.
It was awesome.
No, they killed Paul Bearer.
Well, was it Paul Bearer? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, put him in the cement because it was at that stage. I think I can't remember exactly how it
around
went
20,
down.
Just before 20, they did that kind of stuff.
But he didn't need him anymore for his powers. You know those powers. And he fucking stuck him in the cement mixer. Yeah.
Well, that happens at a lot of funeral homes, doesn't it? That's how they do that shit now.
Yeah. You couldn't be. Would it be a casket match? Would it?
Mate, again, we haven't had one of those for a while.
We have had one on TNA recently. That was rubbish.
Yeah. Yes, we did, which made no sense. What were they burying? Someone's career, or
no? They were re-energizing Bully Ray Mark V by the looks of it because he's back again now.
He's a face. He's a heel. He's a face. He's a heel.
He's a bitch.
Well, I wouldn't say that to him. I like Bully Ray.
Wimp.
I like Bully Ray about as much as I like Triple H.
The game.
But yeah, I suppose I'm hoping maybe I've never really been a fan of the casket matches. I did like them when I was younger, and you know, just seeing the spectacle of someone the size of Yokozuna.
Yeah, I was going to say
into a coffin.
I liked it that they built one specially for Yokozuna. That casket was freaking huge.
He used to have this dodgy workshop, didn't he? That they used to cut to. Paul Bearer would be ferreting around doing something.
Oh yes, I love Paul Bearer. What a ledge.
Great to see him going in the Hall of Fame as well, isn't it? Over that weekend.
Fantastic.
I'm assuming Mark Calloway will be the guy to induct him into that. So yeah, I'm hoping maybe a last man standing match is maybe the way to go. I don't really want to see these guys in a. Do you want to see them in a cell again? I don't.
No, I can't. Well,
I want this to go all around the Superdome. That's the kind. I want it on the concourse. I want it in the crowd. I want these guys to literally tear the house, because this is going to be the one. It's always the street match, which tends to be the best, and I just don't envy the poor bastards that have to follow it. Really, do you?
No, but it's a little bit worrying because as we've said before, this isn't somebody that can really. I know he doesn't get carried, so don't think I'm saying that Undertaker is carried, but he's not your high flyer, he's not your risk taker, he's not a fresh guy like a Daniel Bryan. Lesnar brawls, and Lesnar literally beats the crap out of you. That's a hard slug for the Undertaker.
It's going to be a Daniel Day-Lewis match, isn't it? There will be blood.
It's going to be a real brawl to the end, and that can be good, but it can also be a worry because is Undertaker built for that these days? I mean, and is that ultimately the final match of the streak that we want to see Lesnar Taker at 30?
Now, this is what I was gonna ask you, because in the last few years, I mean, you haven't really felt like anyone can possibly take this streak off him, and to be honest, Brock Lesnar's not setting the world on fire thinking that he's going to do it. Now, because they've got that, and I mean, that's probably going to be the reaction amongst quite a lot of people. Do you think we're going to get something slightly offhand here? You know, maybe if it is a last man standing match, we get a double 10 count.
No.
Or is the streak going to live long and prosper?
No, please don't.
You want the streak over?
No, I don't want the streak to die, particularly not at 30 with Lesnar. There's no way someone like Lesnar either deserves to take the streak, or for that matter, even remotely deserves to get a draw from this match. And the only reason why I say that is because he's part-time. If you're going to give this to anybody, I'd look at someone for the future, maybe a Bray Wyatt. That would be very interesting. If you are going to give it, I don't think you should. I mean, that would make sense to me. Maybe 31, Bray versus Taker. Or always the man called Sting is still floating around, and it is in his hometown next year at 31.
I was going to say, if Sting, for me, if that was going to happen, probably what should have happened about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. Probably
when Triple H had that his third match, which was the second one in a row in the Hell in a Cell. Because to be honest, that just became, I mean, it has that lasting image, doesn't it, of Michaels, Triple H, and Taker all walking out together. And I think maybe it was lovely. Maybe they could have done something like that the year before. I think that was probably the time to bring Sting in. As I say, if I mean, in sense of the aura of the match, would be fantastic, but to look at, it's going to be probably not great, is it?
No, it would not be a great match these days. Sting's not in the best of shape. Taker has to take a year to recover. I think that's something possibly you wanted to mention, is the fact that, we don't get to see The Undertaker that much these days. I think, was it last year, we were actually treated to The Undertaker here in the UK, which is a real rarity.
Couple of shows, didn't we? I think CM Punk was off at the time, so Taker came out, and did the Shield put him through a table?
Yeah, and he's never ever got retribution for that.
Well, by the time he's back again, they won't be in existence anymore. So, no, I mean, when he does go into this kind of final run, and I think I'm kind of hoping he might put on a few more shows in the year, and you kind of know that we're leading up to something. Maybe not saying they do something like they did with Ric Flair, with losing and lose and you go home. I think hopefully there's a few more things I'd like to see Taker do. I'd like to see him go again with Punk, preferably if Punk comes back first. I don't really know what he'd do with Daniel Bryan, but the one I definitely want to see him against at some point, not your greatest superstar on the planet, but Mr. I can speak Chinese for 5 minutes, Cena. I would like to see those two go, preferably in a WrestleMania match at some point. I'm not saying I want Cena to go over, but I think they're just, one of the biggest icons of probably the last 10 years in terms of Cena. As much as you don't like him, he is still that guy for the company, and Taker's been there for since 1990 now. So I think something like that does have to happen at WrestleMania. But as I said, I would like to see kind of Taker on a farewell tour, maybe do a few more dates in that final year.
Yeah. I mean, yes, if you want to see John Cena versus The Undertaker, then I would like to see The Undertaker in TNA.
Of course, Cena's got to go over.
I would like to see The Undertaker in TNA.
You're not going to go Ring of Honor. You're going to go TNA. You're going to book him against Abyss, are you?
TNA, Russo booking, Taker. Deal with it.
Course, I completely agree with you, though. I used to think that the streak should go. I always wanted it to go to someone like Michaels on his second run. I did like those two matches that those guys put on, but as I said, I think now it's like one of those. It needs to probably not be broken.
Yeah.
It's not even worth using it in a really hot angle if you are going to turn Cena heel and basically have him sell out to Vince McMahon and become, what Hulk did,
brother,
when he joined the NWO. It's not even worth doing something like that, in my opinion. No, let the streak remain.
I was joking, by the way, just in case anybody decides to say, you want to see Taker in TNA? Are you freaking out of your mind?
It's another Meltzer.
I am. Yeah. Look, yeah, don't want this coming out in the dirt sheets. Okay, I mean, that pretty much wraps it up this week. I think, it's quite an exciting Raw tonight. Hogan's announcement, Taker's announcement. Guys, what I want to say is make sure you do follow myself and Weeds on Twitter. My Twitter is @Delzinski, and you'll get updates on my videos, and you'll also get to interact with me. So make sure you do that. And also, it's a bit more promotional time, as last week we had Cowboys for Angels. Buff Bagwell, get on that ting. And this week we have a bit of promotional for Mr. Weeds.
Yeah, I've been getting my channel up and running for the last few weeks, and we're finally getting to that point where, thank you, I am bowing at the other end of this line at the moment. We got to the point where we're starting to get some content on, once or twice a week now. The most recent thing I did make a version of Corporate Kane, so that is on there if you want to have a peek at that. And we did quite an interesting commentary the other day, again, Delzinski and I. We had a bit of a historical review, didn't we, of the Montreal screw job. So that is on there. So Weeds World, if you want to check that out. And again, same handle if you want to find me on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll put both our Twitter @names in the link below in the description box, and I'll also put a link to Wee's channel, so be sure to check it out. I think that's pretty much it for today, so all that is left to be said for another Wee Talk is, and don't forget, Cowboys for Angels.
I'm off to find my feather boa now.
Are you? Oh my god! I don't know why I keep.
Hogan's back. Back. Where is your mind?
I genuinely don't know why I keep promoting this. I mean, but anyone notice that Buff Bagwell is like all over the internet at the moment? Oh my god!
Yeah, I was going to say, where's that sentence going?
No.
Are you his pimp?
No.
Not anymore.
Maybe. No. There's so many stories coming out about him at the moment. It's pretty hilarious.
If you Google Bagwell, this will happen.
Yeah, if you get on the Googler and Google Bagwell, you'll find some crazy shit. Anyway, guys, all that's left to be said, I think from me and Weeds, is please rate, comment, and subscribe. Check the Twitters, check Weeds' YouTube channel, and this is it. Delzinski and Weeds, do you want to sign out?
See you later, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, we are outro.